For this recipe, I've got 800 grams of cubed mutton. This is goat meat. Here I've got a bunch of cilantro. Here I've got some green peppers. This green pepper, what I did is I've got green pepper like this. I just took two of them and I cut them into halves. Here I've got around 700 grams of cubed potatoes. These are around 4 medium-sized potatoes, 3 to 4. Here I've got about 700 grams of sliced onions. These onions, I'll fry them brown and use it as onion brishta. Here I have got some fennel seeds. It's 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds with 3 green cardamoms and 3 cloves. Here I've got 1 teaspoon of pepper, corn, 1 teaspoon cumin powder, cumin seeds, 1 teaspoon of coriander seeds. So what I'll do is I will be grinding these spices into a powder. Here I have anise seed, 1 anise seed. Then I've got javitri. Here I've got 1 bay leaf, 3 black cardamoms, 1 tablespoon of chili flakes, salt as per taste. Here I've got around 1.5 teaspoon of salt, but you can use salt as per taste. Here I've got 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, also known as haldi, 1 teaspoon of cumin powder known as zira. I've got half a teaspoon of caraway seed powder, which is also known as ajwain. Here I've got Kashmiri red chili powder. This will add a nice color to my biryani. This is 1 tablespoon of Kashmiri red chili powder. Here I've got 1 stick of cinnamon. This is around 4 inches of cinnamon. Here I have 1.5 tablespoons of ginger paste mixed with 3 tablespoons of garlic paste. Here I've just sliced 1 lime. I've used this size lime. It's a small, smaller than a tennis ball. So I've used sliced lime. I've just sliced it. Here I've got 1/4 cup of white vinegar. Here I've got 1 cup of yogurt. Here there is 300 grams of chopped or cubed tomatoes. And what I will be also using for this recipe is some ghee and oil. So first I'll start frying these onions till they are golden brown. I will also be using basmati rice for this recipe. To make the biryani rice, I will leave the link in the description box below. I have given a detailed video on how to make biryani rice, pulao rice, and the fried brown onions as well. So let's start cooking. To warm oil, add the sliced onions and fry it till they turn light golden brown. Onions look perfectly fried. At this point of time, I will turn my stove off and I will remove half of these onions and keep it aside for placing it in over my rice. So I'll just drain the oil. Dry grinding my spices. Here I've got fennel seeds with cardamom and cloves. So just add it to my dry grinder. Here I've got some cumin seeds, coriander seeds, and some peppercorns. Start to dry grind. Now this has ground to a fine powder, and this is what I'll add to my biryani. To my ground spices, I will be adding a cup of yogurt. Just whisk it well. Now I'll add in my ginger and garlic paste. Give it a good whisk. Make sure all these spices are mixed well. Now I'll add in 1/4 cup of vinegar. Now I'll add in all the other dry spices. Whisk it in well. Add the prepared yogurt to the fried onions and mix well. Add the mutton to this mixture as well as the potatoes and give it a good stir. Add cilantro, green chilies, slices of lemon as well as tomatoes to this mixture, and then again give it a good stir. Add quarter cup of oil. It's been exactly 2 hours since this meat has been marinating. What I did is I shifted the meat from that smaller pot to this bigger pot, and I'm also boiling water for the rice to make the biryani rice. I've just added today some lemon slices. If you want, you can add it or you can skip it. Now to this boiling hot water, I will be adding my basmati rice, which I have soaked for an hour here, and we will boil this rice first for 2 minutes, and I'll remove the rice after 2 minutes as the first layer for this mutton, and then I will let this rice cook for another 4 minutes, and then I will add it above the 2-minute rice layer. To the boiling water, just add in the basmati rice. I remove the water in which the rice was soaking. I'll just add all my rice, give it a good stir. Let the rice boil. To prepare this rice for this biryani, it's a 2-step. First, I'll let the rice boil for at least 2 to 3 minutes, and then I will scoop out about half of that rice onto this layer, and then I will continue cooking the remaining rice in this pot for another 4 minutes, and then I'll add that above the first layer of rice. It's been exactly 3 minutes since this rice has been boiling, so what I'll do is I'll just scoop out part of the rice and I'll place it over the top of this meat. Now add some fried onions over this layer. I have used 3 cups of uncooked rice for this recipe, which is around 750 grams of rice. Just add in the onions and just add in 1 lime slice over this layer plus a little cilantro around. Now I will top this rice with a second layer of rice, and this rice has been cooking for a further 4 minutes. Adding this as a final layer. What I'll do is I'll also remove the green chilies here. I'll use this as my final garnish for this recipe. Over this final layer of rice, I will be pouring some ghee around. This is some remaining, and this is saffron water. So what I've done is I've to this hot water added some saffron strands. I'm just pouring it all around, and I'll also spread some fried onions and top it with cilantro as well as green chilies. I'm using foil to cover the pot to avoid any steam from escaping while this Kachhee Gosht Ki Biryani is cooking on my stove top. I will also be placing a lid to cover this pot, and I will be cooking it on a thick griddle pan or thick tawa. I just placed this pot over this tawa. Now what I'll do is I will let this first cook for first 10 minutes over high flame, and then I will lower my flame to medium for 20 minutes, and after that I will keep it from low to medium for another 1 hour or till it's done. It's been 1.5 hours since this biryani has been cooking. I'm going to switch the stove off and I'll let this rest for at least 20 minutes before opening it. The lid, remember this is still very hot, so handle with care when you're removing the foil. With the high chances of steam just escaping. You can see it's already escaping. So we're going to check if the mutton is cooked. Now let's check if the rice is cooked. So what I'm going to do is I'll just press it, tip of my knife. You can see it's cooked. You can see the rice grain breaking here. Now we'll just see if the mutton is cooked. So I'll just try to find mutton from the bottom of the pot. You can see how beautifully it is. Let's see what this is. This is potato. You can see the potato is cooked so nicely. I just cut into it and it's cooked. And now let's find some mutton piece. See, this is the mutton piece. And it's cooked so well. I just cut into it and this is perfect. Kachhee Gosht Ki Biryani, also known as mutton biryani, is ready to serve. You can serve with any raita or enjoy it as it is. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Please click on the bell icon for notification of my latest videos. And thank you for watching. Enjoy.